die Kinder von Fukushima in einem Projekt unterstützt. Die Kinder, die mittlerweile auch schon größer geworden sind. Ja.
止まって話すんですけど、プロジェクターとマイクの準備ができるので少々お待ちください。福島の震災から今復興がどうなっているかという話をしていきます。
Ja. Also,
12年。
Ja, also die 8 Schülerinnen und Schüler aus Fukushima werden heute erstmal über die Erfahrungen, die sie bei den Erdbeben gemacht haben, sprechen und dann aber auch, was das für sie heute bedeutet und was sie auch daraus gemacht haben.
8人の高校生が今から英語でスピーチするので頑張ってするので聞いてあげてください。よろしくお願いします。
Ja, also die Vorträge sind jetzt auf Englisch und ja, versucht bitte zu verstehen.
I'm Azuki from Fukushima. Please call me Azu. I lived in Iwaki City at the time of the Great East Japan earthquake. It happened right after I came back from the kindergarten. I remember that I escaped from my house in a hurry with my mother without knowing what happened because I was very young. When we evacuated the house, we heard that tsunami would reach Iwaki City soon. I had to evacuate to a higher place. A 20-meter high tsunami hit Fukushima. The tsunami took many lives. In my area, a tsunami of 8.5 meters hit our city, so we had to evacuate. When we evacuated the higher ground by car, we saw the black water flowing back up the river. We got on the roof of a nearby post office and waited for the tsunami to pass. The impact of the tsunami was very large. Many people lost their houses, and those who failed to escape from the tsunami were swept out to sea and died. The impact of the tsunami was very large. I lived in an apartment which was built on a little hill, so it only got flooded below the floor level. My house was partly damaged, but the apartment itself was safe. However, a tsunami warning continued to be issued for Iwaki, so we spent a few days in an evacuation shelter. Water and electricity were cut off, so my mother went to the water station every day, and we helped each other. When the situation got better, we went to see my house. We found the inside of the house was a mess, and things were scattered all over the place. I was very shocked when I saw the terrible condition of my house. The self-defense forces and volunteer organizations distributed food to the earthquake victims in the shelter, so we could live comfortably there. As aftershocks continued, my mother's friend told us that the nuclear power plants were in danger. However, my father had to work and couldn't come with us. So my mother and I evacuated to a relative's house in Chiba. Even though I was young, I had no trouble at the place we evacuated to, and I didn't have any big worries. My father worked hard every day as a police officer, and my uncle worked every day to restore electricity. I couldn't understand the situation at that time, but now I respect what they were doing. My friends also didn't get much damage. Many people helped us, so I feel we were very lucky. 12 years have passed since the great earthquake. In these 12 years, Fukushima progressed in its recovery from the great disaster. In the past 12 years, I moved from Iwaki City to Aizu City and to Fukushima. I lived in Iwaki City, so I talked about my experience in front of my classmates. I am sharing my story with you. It is important to keep telling people what happened so we don't let such a tragedy happen again. I want people to know more about Fukushima. I think this could be an important way to support the future of Fukushima and Japan. I want to be a midwife in the future. After the earthquake disaster, when my mother was pregnant with my younger sister, was asked by a reporter why she wanted to give birth in Fukushima. According to the reporter, Fukushima was not a safe place for both mother and the baby. Fukushima was considered a dangerous place because of radioactivity. It is very sad that both mother and the baby born in Fukushima are criticized even though they are innocent. This kind of criticism might not disappear completely. I want to be a midwife who can support women who are having babies in Fukushima and help them to give birth with peace of mind. Therefore, I want to learn a lot in Germany and make use of it in my future. I will do my best to help many people as I have been helped by them. Thank you very much.
I'm a high school student from Fukushima. My heart beats fast every time there is an earthquake. This is because the incidents of that day are still deeply embedded in my mind. Sea level, the great earthquake left a huge scar on people's lives that will never heal. On that day, my father was not at home. But it's my mother, my little sister, and I were. When the earthquake hit, my mother took my sister and me under Bruce's arm and ran outside, evacuated us to a large open space with few buildings. Returned to the house, brought our cat. My mother cleaned up the house by herself, since my father and grandfather are carpenters, so they were busy fixing up customers' houses. We moved to a guest house far from home. The guest house, the people at the guest house were very kind. My house was not damaged and we are able to leave the guest house soon. On TV, they were broadcast of the terrible scene and victims caused by the tsunami. I was very young and did not know what had happened. But now, I'm a high school student and I am very aware of my helplessness. So I feel so uneasy. As a result of the great earthquake, the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was damaged, releasing large amounts of radioactive materials. Because of this, so people had to leave the area and live in a different place. Vegetable and rice were tested if they were safe. We would eat them. However, I heard that people outside of Fukushima Prefecture did not eat vegetable and rice from Fukushima because they thought they were contaminated. Nowadays, vegetable and rice from Fukushima are safe to eat. On the other hand, there are still many people who have not been able to return to the place where they used to live. I believe we need to help each other to complete the recovery of Fukushima. This time, I want to learn about German environment, culture, renewable energy, and much more. I look forward to having a lot of experiences in Germany. I want to make them useful in Fukushima. I'm not sure what I will do in my future, but I love history and literature, so I want to work in a job related to those areas. Of course, I love not only Japanese history and literature, but also German history and literature. I want to let people in Japan know what I have experiences this time, so that they will be interested in many things in Germany. I will do my best to build a relationship with German people, and I hope my experience will be helpful for a lot of people. Thank you very much.
I'm Shinji Endo. I'm from Fukushima Prefecture. When the Great East Japan earthquake happened, I just woke up from a nap at the preschool and could not move because of the noise and shaking. I remember that when we were crying and screaming, our teachers kept telling us, "It's okay, it's okay." As the aftershocks continued, we moved to another room to wait for parents. I saw the playground slide in the backyard had disappeared because of a sudden landslide. Our toys were shattered into pieces in our playroom. Later, my grandfather picked me up and we could go home safely. But I couldn't lead a normal life due to power and water outage. As a little boy, I was worried because I didn't understand what was happening. As I grew up, I was able to understand about the tsunami and the nuclear accident. Then a new fear appeared in my mind. It was that people could be hurt badly because of a secondary disaster. I think that we must continue to think about health problems such as cancer caused by radiation, limited motor skills, and increased obesity in children because of the restrictions. When I was in elementary school, I joined the Aarhus Workers Camp program and experienced many things. Even though several years have passed since the nuclear accident, I felt uneasy because we had a lot of restrictions back then. Playing with college students and local people reduced my anxiety and started having fun. In addition, I experienced rice planting and picking edamame. You know edamame? And edamame is Japanese food green soybean. Rice planting and picking edamame for the first time because I couldn't do such things in my daily life. It was a good experience. Later, I joined the Aarhus Walkers Camp program again when I was in elementary school. But when I became a junior high school student, I couldn't join because I was too busy. My studies and club activities very high. Then I received an email about this program in Germany. I became interested in learning about renewable energy and decided to participate in the program. I was very nervous about going abroad, but I want to try my best because I think that learning about renewable energy will be good for me in the future. If the operation of nuclear power plant could be reduced by increasing the supply of renewable energy, it would prevent the accident and also help prevent global warming. It is also a good experience to interact with German high school students. So I want to learn about other cultures and increase my knowledge on this location. I'm not sure what I will be in the future, but I attend a high school focusing on business. So I want to get many technical qualifications, use them in my future career. I want to share what I learned in Germany with my friend who also experienced the disaster and think about it together. Thank you very much.
A high school student living in Hirata village, Fukushima prefecture. In February, it's time to decorate Hina dolls. My mother and I decorate my Hina dolls. They are Japanese Hina dolls. My Hina dolls have white skin and kind eyes. The kimono is orange and pink, which are my favorite colors. Every morning, I said, "Ittekimasu" to Hina dolls before leaving home. "Ittekimasu" is Japanese. "Ittekimasu" is I'm going. On March 11th, 12 years ago, I said, "Ittekimasu" to Hina dolls as usual and left home. While I was taking a nap at the daycare center, I was awaked by the earthquake alarm. I couldn't get up the bed due to the big quake that lasted for a long time. When I went home and opened the front door, I found that the doors on display had fallen to the floor. Their necks were broken. I was very sad. I still cannot forget that scene. 12 years later, I am still having my thyroid checked every year. I had my thyroid checkup in October 2012 when I was 6 years old because I was worried about radiation. My mother said, "Let's go get your thyroid checked." I didn't know why I had to take the test. I just didn't want it to be hurt. Want it hurt? She said, "It doesn't hurt. It's just a tickle. Don't worry about it." I headed to the hospital with my mother. The examination room was dark and only one echo machine. It was very quiet. The nurse smeared the gel on my throat, and then I felt the stick on my throat. Really, it didn't hurt. I was able to undergo the examination with peace of mind because my friend's mother, who works at the daycare center, was the technician. While we were talking about the daycare center, the examination was over. Later, the result arrived. There are no problems, and my mother was relieved. Since then, I was taking a test every year. I was very young at that time and didn't know what they are testing for, but know that they are testing me because they are worried about thyroid cancer. I still have no abnormalities in my thyroid gland, and I'm living a healthy life. I will continue to have tests. I don't know how long I will continue to think about possible health problems caused by radiation and continue taking a test. I am tired of it. Still, I love Fukushima, where I was born and raised. Thank you very much for listening.
Everybody calls me my family name Aihara, so call me Aihara. Do you know what this sound is? I have been frightened by this sound since the earthquake. The sound you just heard was a reproduction of this alarm system. In Japan, we have our earthquake warning system that makes sounds on mobile phones and TV. So since then, I'm always panic whenever I hear the sound and think that something scary is about to happen. When the earthquake happened, I was 3 years old. On that day, we come back from my grandparents' house from the outing with my family and I was washing my hands. Suddenly, big shake happened and my mother covered me using big laundry basket to protect me. I looked around me through a basket crack and I saw the vanity mirror constantly opening and closing. I was so scared because I had never experienced such a big earthquake until then. So I didn't understand what was happening at that time. I stayed at my grandparents' house for a while. There were many aftershocks during that time. Because of the earthquake, water and electricity stopped for a while. When the power outage was fixed, TV showed the news only about the earthquake every day. I had a chance to recall my childhood memory and talk with my mother about nuclear power plant. I said, well, didn't I have a glass batch when I was little? Glass batches are used to measure exposure doses. My mother said, oh, I made you carry one. I asked, why did you make me carry one? My mother replied, I wanted to know how much radiation you were exposed to for your future. When I heard that, I understood she was thinking about my future when she made me carry glass batch. 12 years after the earthquake, tidal check-ups are still being conducted and aftershocks still happened. especially remember a story that I heard from a farmer when I was in 5th grade. The farmer said, "We check all the vegetables more than flowers in other prefectures, so it is very safe to eat. But many people say they don't buy them because they are made in Fukushima. Recently, more people buy them, but some people still don't like vegetables from Fukushima." 1 year later, I had a chance to learn about radiation. I heard that after the nuclear accident, many false rumors about radiation went around. Many people believed that information and misunderstood about radiation. So there are many people who are suffering from that false information. From this story, I understood why fiction products have been avoided. I actually didn't know that information was a false rumor and I read them. I realized how much false information hurt a lot of people. What I want to do now in Germany is to know and feel difference between and Japanese cultures. I want to go to tourist areas, meet local people, and I want to learn how to look at things from a different point of view. I want to learn something new through this experience in Germany. Thank you very much.
I experienced the Great East Japan earthquake when I was 4. The big shake attacked us when we were sleeping in the kindergarten. I still remember the sound of the earthquake warning system and babies crying. After that, the nuclear power plant accident was happened. Then, I wasn't allowed to play outside. At my house, the contamination work took my sandbox away from my garden. It made me very sad. The word Fukushima got new meanings after that. The phrases like, "Don't give up Fukushima," "Do your best Fukushima," were recited repeatedly on TV, radio, newspaper, and so on. For me, the word Fukushima describes negative image of Fukushima, not like my hometown. That made me very upset. Also, when we try to move forward, I feel like the world keeps us stuck to the past. In such a situation, the warmth of people saved me. My mother and I evacuated to Niigata, neighboring prefecture, because of nuclear power plant accident. At that time, the owner of apartment where we lived was kind to us like family. I think the people close to me filled my loneliness with happiness. So I want to be a person who can nestle human hearts. Because of that, my dream is to be a school nurse. I want to nestle children's hearts. Moreover,
I want to change the image of Fukushima. To do this, I think we should solve nuclear issues as soon as possible. We need to spread renewable energy in Japanese. In Germany, I want to learn about renewable energy. Then, I want to know what I can do for Fukushima and make use of this experience. I love my hometown Fukushima. However, the word Fukushima now makes me little uncomfortable. So, I hope that Fukushima will purely be a hometown, not just a victim of the disaster. Thank you very much.
I am Yuta from Fukushima. What would you do if someone said, "Stay away from me, because you came from contaminated Fukushima"? I could not play outside as much as I wanted because of the radioactive contamination in Fukushima. But I knew how much fun it was to play outside, to touch your sun, feeling the sticky, cold, wet, and dry sand. Because when I was 6 years old, I joined a recreational camp for children from Fukushima, organized by Aar's Workers in 2014 of Miyazaki, a place far away from Fukushima, where it was safe to play outside. When I was 8 years old, my parents decided to move to Ishikawa Prefecture. I met people who did not like me because I came from contaminated Fukushima. I was so shocked by my experience. On the first day at school, I greeted everyone by saying, "I'm Yuta from Fukushima." When I greeted, everyone welcomed me. But a few days later, people said to me, "Stay away." At that time, I could not say anything and kept silent. I think it was because I thought that my mother must have been tired, because she had just moved to Ishikawa. However, many people in Ishikawa were very kind. So there were few people who did not like me, because I came from Fukushima. When I was 11 years old, I had to return to Fukushima. When I was in second year of junior high school, I heard that the wastewater from the nuclear power plant was going to be discharged. I am against it because if the wastewater is discharged into the ocean, Japan may be criticized by the world and end up like we in elementary school. The fishermen do not like it either. I am not against restarting nuclear power plants, because it is a fact that there is not enough energy in this world today. So I cannot say that I am for or against it at this time. I learned that I could play in nature after joining the Miyazaki camp of Aar's Workers in 2014. So I thought that we should start from the environment so that children in the future can live life without any inconvenience. For these reasons, I want to go to Germany, where renewable energy is widely used, and learn many things and contribute to the future. Finally, in the future, I want to become a pastry chef. Peaches and apples are delicious, so please come and visit Fukushima. This is because I want to use delicious fruits from Fukushima to let my people know about the charms of Fukushima and to contribute to the reconstruction of Fukushima. Thank you very much.
Please say hello. Yeah, thank you. My name is Minami Fukaya. I'm 18 years old. I live in Fukushima. At that time, I saw a cracked road. At that time, everything in the park was broken. At that time, I was crying because I was scared. In 2023 spring, I turned 18 years old. My memories of the Great East Japan earthquake have gradually faded away. But I experienced it again through a play. The purpose of the play that was performed on March 12th is to remind people that tomorrow is coming, no matter what, and about Fukushima reconstruction. The play I performed dealt with how we choose, live and die, and the precious nature of life. In the process, I flashed back to the day of the earthquake. The day before the show, March 11th, at 2:46 p.m., we dedicated a minute silence in thought of the people who died in the earthquake and prayed for them with my eyes closed. It was a moment that whole Japan became silent. Before the silent prayer began, the drama teacher said, "Let's make the best performance for those who lost their lives." I was moved by those words. I couldn't stop crying. Even though I don't like going through those painful memories, I know I should not avoid them. So I decided to go through the published document related to the earthquake in my hometown. I realized those people in picture had helped us. A person who shared water, the teacher who taught my brother in the gym, and the construction worker who fixed the road. When I hear the word disaster, I can't stop thinking of painful memories. But we are not always in deep despair. What I remembered was gratitude. Today, there are many people in the world who cannot live tomorrow because of problems such as natural disaster, war, and environmental problems. What I want to do now is to help people, just like the people who reached out to me at the time of the disaster. And through Ask Walkers, I want to find out what I can do, such as volunteering and convey the greatness of living for tomorrow. I think that's all we can do. Vielen Dank.
皆さんに質疑応答をできたらなと思うので、お時間ある方はぜひ候補者に質問してほしいなと思います。で、やっぱ
Aber wenn wir Zeit haben, wir würden gerne so eine Diskussionsphase, Frage- und Antwortphase führen. Wenn Sie gehen müssen, dann gerne, aber wenn wir so Zeit haben, dann bitte ich gerne mal.
Eben in Fukushima oder so.
ハワイをその際に福島第一災害の前に同じぐらい強い地震があったと知りたいです。
東日本大震災の前には関東の方で阪神・淡路大震災とかあとは東京で関東大震災とかがいろいろありました。
Also es gab Ja, es gab ein Erdbeben in Kobe 1995. Da sind auch die Autobahnen alles zusammengebrochen. Das war auch sehr, sehr schlimm, das Hanshin-Beben. Aber meiner Meinung nach war das nicht so stark wie dieses Beben. Und es gab dann auch um 1920 ein sehr großes Erdbeben in Tokio. Damals waren die Gebäude noch nicht so gebaut wie heute. Also die haben ja so eine elastische Struktur und wenn jetzt ein Beben kommt, dann, ja, wie sagt man so, die bewegen sich so, die können sich bewegen und dadurch passiert nicht mehr so viel im Moment. Aber damals war zum Beispiel halt Tokio lag schon im Anschluss.
福島の押山君の話にありましたけど、福島の放射性物質の潜水が今放出することについて知ってますか？知ってる方がいたら手を挙げてもらっていいですか？
Meer weggeworfen wird. Darüber habt ihr schon mal gehört? Wie viel? Kann man nennen? Wer hat schon mal gehört, dass Japan das noch nicht, aber das kann bald passieren soll? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 Leger, Sozusagen die Leger.
逆に知らない人、そのこと知らなかった人。Okay, ありがとうございます。
Also wir hoffen immer noch, es gibt ja diese Tausende von Fässern mit radioaktivem Wasser, die da in der Nähe des Atomkraftwerks lagern und die japanische Regierung plant jetzt, die einfach ins Meer zu schütten, um die endlich loszuwerden sozusagen. Sind natürlich hochgradig radioaktiv verseucht und es gibt sehr viel internationalen Widerstand auch aus den Anrainerstaaten, also aus China und Korea und so weiter. Die das natürlich, das wird sich auf das ganze Meer natürlich übertragen und dann kann man, das Meer wird davon natürlich sehr kontaminiert werden. Also noch ist das nicht passiert, aber das ist durchaus in der Planung und wenn es nicht so viel Widerstand gäbe, hätten sie wahrscheinlich damit schon angefangen. Ja.
Ja, mich würde mal interessieren, inwieweit die Vorsorge vor Erdbeben im Alltag eigentlich eine Rolle spielt der Schüler. Also ob es Übungen gibt oder irgendwelche Vorbereitungen, Vorsichtsmaßnahmen für mögliche Erdbeben.
シュラに備えた準備というのは学校とかでされてますか？地震があった時にどうしたらいいとか、そういう訓練とかはあるんでしょうか？誰か説明してください。
避難訓練をやっていて、避難訓練は3ヶ月に1回ぐらいはやっています。で、それで時間を
Also es gibt Übungen und alle 3 Monate ist so eine sozusagen Notfallübung in der Schule gemacht. Ja.
で、時間を計ってどれぐらいで逃げられたかを測定しています。
Und da wird zum Beispiel auch gemessen, wie lange braucht man, um irgendwo also an einen sicheren Ort zu flüchten. Also die Fluchtwege werden ausprobiert und wie lange braucht man und wie geht man dahin. Also so ähnlich wie bei uns hier die Feuerübung, nur wahrscheinlich sehr viel intensiver, würde ich sagen. Ja, gibt es also. Bieten so Trainings oder die Workshop an, daran teilgenommen. Ich habe das so, auch wenn das so irgendwo gesteckt, aber Hilfe heißt das, dann kann man damit Hilfe rufen, wenn man nicht mehr so rufen könnte in der schönen Situation. Aber ich finde das nicht erfüllbar. Reisen, meine ich das auch, aber ja, sowas.
Dass sie immer, wenn sie dieses Erdbebenwarngeräusch hört, immer noch davon Erinnerungen bekommt. Hören die das etwa öfters? Gibt es öfter so kleinere Erdbeben?
Ich verstehe mich sehr schlecht.
Ob es öfters Erdbeben, also kleinere Erdbeben gilt, weil sie meint ja, dass sie öfters das Geräusch noch hört.
Ja. Ja, wir haben das alle auf. Irgendwas schon überhaupt davon. Und wenn was, vielleicht hat ja jemand mal Lust zu sagen, was er bis dahin gehört hat von Japan. Ja, einfach. Ach so, ja. Ja, dann sag ich. Ja, ja. Okay. Und jemand, der es nicht wusste? Oh, Bennett. Kann jemand mal was sagen? Oder einfach, dass es den Tsunami und das Erdbeben gab, das wusstet ihr alle, ne? Ich glaube, das war allen bekannt. Ich meine, ihr wart ja, wie alt wart ihr damals? Als das passiert ist? 8 oder 9 Jahre? Ich war immer für uns so, der Anlass war, also ich weiß nicht, ob es wirklich der Anlass war, aber zumindest was gesagt wurde, aus der Atomenergie, also mit ein Faktor war, aus der Atomenergie auszusteigen. Ihr habt wahrscheinlich mehr darüber auch mitgekriegt, als ich schon älter war, vermute ich. Ja. Ja, auch. Ja.
Also, ich weiß nicht von letztes Jahr, weil wir das schon mal mitbekommen haben, vor allem, dass diese Ausgrenzung, die dadurch passiert ist, dass man keinen Kontakt mehr mit den Leuten aus Fukushima machen wollte. Ich glaube, wir hatten dann mitbekommen, dass da, glaube ich, eine Frau, die aus Fukushima kam, mit einem Mann heiraten wollte. Und der Mann hat es dann am Ende abgelehnt, weil er herausgefunden hat, dass er aus Fukushima kam, glaube ich.
僕の福島県の知り合いの方で男性の方なんですけど、その海外に行った時にその震災のことについて知ってほしいっていう感じでお話ししたら、なんかそういう交際を取り消された方がいました。
Er kennt auch einen, der im Ausland gegangen ist, über Fukushima erzählt, dann die Freundin hat weggegangen, also kaputt gegangen, Beziehung ist kaputt gegangen.
原発事故なんで子供の頃でしたけど、その当時はめちゃめちゃいっぱいありました、その差別は。
Ja, also, Fukushima.
結婚が破談になった話がいっぱいです。
Ja, also das ist auch in Fukushima sehr viel vorgekommen, dass sich dann irgendwie Paare oder getrennt haben, auch selbst in Fukushima selber. Was ich auch persönlich mitbekommen habe, ist, dass es war ja auch in den Vorträgen teilweise drin, dass dann eben die Frauen mit den Kindern irgendwo hingezogen sind, die Männer da bleiben mussten, weil sie da gearbeitet haben. Auch da gab es jede Menge Probleme. Also das hat auch die Familien sehr getroffen. Es war nicht nur ein Erdbeben, ein Atomunfall, das ist dann auch, hatte dann seine Auswirkungen auch in den Familien selbst. Also das habe ich auch schon persönlich in Japan mitbekommen, dass sie jetzt an 2 verschiedenen Orten wohnen und so weiter. Ja.
もちろんいっぱいいますし、そういう差別はほとんどなくなってきてるけど、少し残っているかもしれません。ただ、 このプロジェクトの最初の1回目の高校生は、私も将来結婚したかったとか、涙なぎな赤ちゃんを産んでみたかったっていうのを話してたスピーチの女の子たちがいっぱいいました。
Schüler. Damals haben die Schüler erzählt, dass sie selber haben Angst oder die jetzt schon aufgegeben in der Zukunft zu heiraten und Kinder zu haben, weil die auf Liebe schon belastet sind. Angst haben, genau. Oder Angst vor dem Diskriminieren und so weiter. Ja. In den Schülern Ruf. Die Schüler in der Gruppe zusammen reden. Ist das besser? Ja, besser in der Gruppe. Ja, okay. Dann ist das nicht offiziell. Also, ihr könnt selber entscheiden, ob ihr hier bleiben möchten oder nicht. Dann die Gruppe werden müssen.
知らなかった。このスペースありがとうございました。
Oh, Diskriminierung, fragst du mich jetzt.
I want to be in the future. I will work.
Friedensdorf International. Ah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Ah, okay.
Ja, legit. Ja. Silex literature, German literature. Do you know? For example, Goethe, Silex Goethe.
Ah, Goethe.
Yes. So many people died. In Germany? Yes.
Ja, das ist einfach falsch.
Also Richtung
Ja.
Genau, die japanische Regierungsmeinung, darauf muss man immer aufpassen. Wir haben auch so, sie sind für AKW immer, das ist ganz anders als in Deutschland. Warum ist das so anders? Das möchte ich gerne auch wissen. Und deswegen, sie haben ja so geprüft, ja gesagt, es ist sicher und gefährlich, aber das ist die Organisation, dass die Annahme höher möchte. Deswegen sie sagen eher ja sagen, wenn das nicht klar ist. Deswegen muss man vorsichtig sein.
Ja, und
also eine Medien, wasです。なんかトリチウムはプラトニウムほど危険じゃないと聞いたし、だから言われてるほど危険じゃないのかもしれないと私は思うんですけど、危険じゃないっていうことも証明されてない、わからないって聞いたんですよ。だからわからないんだったらやらない方がいいっていうのが私の意見で、なんかEAAF 原子力開発機構っていうのだけ大丈夫って1ヶ月くらい前にゴーサイン出しました。危険じゃないっていう。だけど
それが本当かどうかは、その期間しか知らないから。
その期間は原子力発電を推進したい期間じゃないですか、そこは。
どちらかというと、そこの言うことはだけでは信頼できないかもしれないという心配。With the drama そのこういう福島のカタストローフ、そういう震災のことをたまたま
これは普通の動画みたいな本なんですけど、明日が来ることの大切さをすごく強調している本で、12日に3月12日11日の次にトラブスは生きられなかった人がいるじゃないですか。だから明日を大事にしていこうっていうので、
間接的に震災のことを考えてやってる感じか、直接。
はい。
12日って原発が起きた日にち。
Ab dem 12. März.
Ja,
Nächsten Tag, genau. Jedes Jahr spielen. Das ist dann so mäßig, dass es Sterben gibt, aber trotzdem, das ist ganz wichtig, weiter. すごいね。
Wir haben schon einmal gesprochen mit dem Lehrer, vielleicht morgen oder übermorgen, vielleicht am Sonntag. Ja. Wollen wir einmal mit den Lehrern reden, ob sie...
Habe ich das schon mal gesprochen? Innen hat übernehmen, wo? Was macht ihr?
Ja, Inhalte
Oder ist es
bei uns in der Nähe gibt es zwei traditionell deutsche Restaurants. Oder Genau. Nee, das war in Hessen. Das war in Hessen in Holland.
Wo ist das? Ja, egal.
Aber hier in Duisburg.
Duisburg, ja.
Next good day. Yes,
ドイツの授業に